Look to your left, because inbound we've got the C-17 Globemaster 3 from Altus Air Force Base in Oklahoma. Take a look. The question for this guy is it a freighter or is it a fighter? Approaching at over 300 miles per hour, watch as this incredibly powerful and agile airplane passes by show center and goes into a very steep way. How about that? This is one of the cool things about this. The C-17 Globemaster 3 that can weigh as much as 550,000 pounds fully loaded is actually flown like a fighter jet with a control stick rather than a control yoke. There is also, in front of each of the pilot's positions up in the front, a heads-up display, just like an F-22 or an F-15 or an F-16 would have. It really has some incredible power. And some of you may even have flown in airliners with the same engines as these incredible 41,000-pound of thrust engines have. The C-17 Globemaster is powered by 4 Pratt & Whitney F-117 engines, giving it a maximum speed of 517 miles per hour. Flying the aircraft today, Captain Buddy Martins, Captain John Damron, Captain J.R. Borey, and in the back, the Globemasters, Staff Sergeant Jake Ellis and Staff Sergeant Al Castillo. Now, believe it or not, the Globemaster can be flown and operated with just 2 pilots and 1 loadmaster. It is that advanced in its capabilities. From the right, coming by in a very, very slow pass. And not more than about 120 miles per hour. Empty weight of the airplane is somewhere around, I want to say 268,000 pounds. But as I said, it can almost double that weight with those huge Pratt & Whitney engines on the front. Coming by with the gear down, with the leading edge slats and the trailing edge flaps on the wing extended. You'll also notice those wingtip winglets that stick straight up. Just to give you an idea of the size, those winglets alone are 9 feet tall. They help reduce turbulence. Now watch them as they pour the power to it. The nose comes up, yank it back on the stick. Look at that. There's 15 degrees of here. That's retracted, and away she goes, setting up for its next pass. It has a 2,400 nautical mile range with 160 pounds of payload. If it has only a 40,000-pound payload, they can put more gas in it and travel as far as 4,400 nautical miles. Let's give the Wings of Blue a nice round of applause as they come by you, folks. They're going to be packing those chutes up. Nice job. Now, Captain Buddy Martins, Captain John Damron, and Captain J.R. Borey are now banking in from the left for their next maneuver. The first C-17 flight took place on September 15th in 1991. So this aircraft is approaching its 18th birthday, this type of aircraft. Now watch the speed come up. As it comes by, it's going to demonstrate the extremely tight turning radius of this huge airplane. Banking sharply to the left at 60 degrees of bank. You can see the massive wingspan of 169 feet 10 inches. The length of the airplane is 174 feet. It's 55 feet 1 inch high, and the wing area is almost 3,800 square feet. This has some incredible load-carrying capabilities, as I've mentioned, designed to replace the C-141 Starlifters that are now out of service, and also to take care of the aging C-5 Galaxy fleet. It can carry almost as much as the C5, about 80% of the load carrying capability of the C5, but can operate out of airfields that are much, much shorter, both landing and taking off. So it has some of the performance characteristics of its much smaller cousin, the C-130 Hercules, that's been in constant production since about the early 1950s, with over 2,000 of those. I believe there are about 170 of the C-17 Globemasters in service. Now here's what we're going to see. We're going to see a demonstration of the short field landing capability of this amazing big airplane. The crew will line up for the landing, and it will dive down, and when you see the aircraft touch down, I want you to keep your eyes on the engine nacelles, the actual engines themselves. You'll actually see panels open up on the side as they reverse the thrust of the jet engines. Instead of having the jet exhaust and the thrust come out of the rear, they'll reverse it. Airliners do the same thing, but you'll see just how amazing it is. You'll also hear how quiet the airplane is, and that's something that's very, very important in the combat arena as well. You'll hear it get noisy as the engine's thrust is reversed, but you'll hear it be very quiet. Okay, Cam, let's fade that music there. Jay, let's fade the music down a little bit, and let's listen as the C-17 approaches. Just a few hundred feet above the ground. Remember, this airplane currently configured weighs somewhere around 300,000 pounds and it's going to stop in a couple of thousand feet. Look at all the tires. You wouldn't want to be having a job of changing a tire on these. Touchdown, now watch it. The opening here's about as loud as it's going to get. Just like a school bus. How about that? How about a nice round of applause for the C-17 Globemaster 3. Now let's see if we're going to get another takeoff here or if they're going to taxi clear the runway. But what you saw in that backing up was a demonstration of how it could, in fact, back up to the edge of the runway, all the way back and take off without turning around. It is also, as you can see, very, very close to the ground. A huge door in the rear opens up, and that allows for very quick offloading of cargo. And on a runway like this, only 150 feet wide, I believe, they're going to get this thing turned. And salute all of you folks here today at AirPower over Hampton Roads. Capable of carrying 160,000 pounds of cargo and get her turned around on a dime and give you 9 cents change. How about that? What an incredible demonstration. There's the Loadmaster. Give him a wave, everybody. Loadmaster back there. Al Castillo is back there, and also Staff Sergeant Jake Ellis. And they'll taxi back into parking. Lots more to come in just a moment. We're going to be welcoming Sean Carroll to our show, flying the Yak 9. Then Kyle Franklin will be